Hello, my name is Voya and welcome to My Deep Guide. Today we're going to unbox and take a first look at the Amazon's lowest tier price range new Kindle device. So let's check out what does it actually look like. Alright, so here is the box, and I've got the white version of the Kindle itself and a black fabric cover. So let's first check out the device itself, what the package is like, what we get inside, and yeah, how the device looks like. I like that the box is of a different format. Nowadays we're used to this kind of book format everywhere, and it's kind of refreshing to see something that, you know, hangs on the shelf and is I think it's adequate, and it makes it a little bit more approachable, which definitely with the price point it makes it so. So we just need to see actually what you get for that super low price. And all right, we open up the box, we slide the Kindle out, we get this I really like. This is a really cool design, because you get the Kindle logo simply as a shiny emboss on top of a matte black paper. And here we slide out the actual device. What else do we have in here? Underneath we have the super minimalistic instructions, which are power on, plugging power, you're done. And we get probably warranty and all that kind of stuff in here. And in the bottom we get a USB micro cable. So this is a USB micro device. So the contents of the package are fairly rudimentary but complete. You get your device, documentation, and the power or connection cable. So that's pretty straightforward. Now let's focus on the device itself. Alright, so here is the device itself. At the bottom we have the power and the micro USB. Nothing at the top, nothing on the sides, and nothing at the back other than the Amazon logo and some little writings and patents and all that kind of stuff. You don't get anything. At the front we have a really wide outline, or the bezel. We have a 6-inch screen, and it is not flush with surface. It is actually indented inside, which gives it this kind of a dated look. So I think they really had to kind of say the all new Kindle, because in all honesty it does not look like new at all. It actually reminds me of pre-2010 device. That's how it feels and that's how it looks like. But then again, it's the cheapest of the bunch. Let's power it on and see what's what. One of the major cost saving points of this device is unfortunately the screen. And it has the resolution of pixels per inch density of 167, which is by far the lowest of any competitor, and it's just really, really old. So I'm not sure how that will compete, because even the Paperwhite has 300 ppi, and the difference between the Paperwhite and this is not that big. So let's see. Power it up. We have a little bit of a green light at the bottom. I guess I need to hold it. Yep. So it starts up. We have the lovely Kindle logo. The shyness of the screen is okay. It's not that bad at all, but it is a little shiny. And the format is good. I actually, visually, the edges feel like a little bit too wide, but for something to use, I think they actually work really nice. So I don't mind that at all. English, United Kingdom. Yes, let's get started. High contrast touch display, read without screen glare, okay. Weeks of battery life, sure, and holds thousands of books. Yeah, at 4 gigabytes of storage, I think it can probably hold thousands of books. While the setup is going, I'm just gonna kind of describe the tactile feel of it. The precision of the craftsmanship, even though it definitely feels like a low tier end device, it feels very nice and refined. The plastic quality is nice and smooth, and it's pleasant to the touch. The front, the back, not so much, because you can even hear it. It's that super cheap and kind of Ooh, that's hollow right here. So maybe it could have been a bit thinner, but all right. So it comes pre-charged very low. That's 39%. Usually we have them at 70 or 80%. And let's now connect to Wi-Fi. Screen is very, very responsive. And immediately I see that we only have 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi available. So no 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi compatibility is here. Alright, so we have our Wi-Fi, we are connecting to Amazon. Immediately you have to, of course, connect to your Amazon account. So it's been now asking me to log in, which I did, and do I want to sync this? Do you want to get the app? Do you want the good read or anything like that? And I said no, skip. And now finally I have the getting started guide. So far the overall startup experience is very nice and very straightforward, especially coming from devices that are coming from the eastern region, especially China. I've gotten used to really unfortunate translations and basically deciphering what does what mean. And I have to say, even though this is a really simple and small thing, it is a bit of a refresher to actually have properly designed user experience when you start up, so that it actually is very clear what's what, and that you just know what the device wants of you and what is expected of you to do. So it says navigating your Kindle. Tap the toolbar at the top of the screen to navigate your Kindle. Home is where you'll find your library and discover new Kindle and Audible books. Back will retrace your steps. Right. Then we have quick actions to adjust screen brightness, because this guy actually has a front light and it has Bluetooth, so you can listen to your Audible books on it, which is really cool. You can sync your Kindle, turn airplane mode on or off, and Bluetooth mode on or off. And of course, more on home. Swipe up on your home screen to see additional tips, recommendations, and more based on your reading habits. All right, cool. Let's see what's else. So, alright, now we have the home screen and it has updated. I have the latest book that I've started reading on my Kindle account, and the responsiveness is okay, actually quite nice. We have our home screen, we have the back, we have setting, Goodreads, store. So if I go to the store, how responsive is it? And alright, this is the first time starting up, so it's updating. Alright, so based on my selections, it's giving me some recommendations, and the overall experience is quite nice. So if I go to settings, yeah, I got my airplane mode, Bluetooth mode, sync to Kindle, all settings, and the screen brightness, which is super responsive actually, and I really like the numbers on top. But now it's getting into the review type of things, so I'm simply going to go back to home. I'll be testing the device to actually learn how this whole thing properly works, and all of that is going to be included in the in-depth review. Overall, the device feels, oh, this is pretty. This is really, really pretty. I'm surprised because the design is really elderly, and the feel is cheap because it is a cheap device, but surprisingly, it just works. It just feels okay, and it seems like it's been, you can see that it is 10th generation, that they know what's what. They've probably made a ton of mistakes and they've corrected them, and they know what's where, and especially these edges, it's very, very comfortable to hold. And you can also really easily navigate with one hand because of the side. So it can easily rest here at the bottom of your palm, but it does not have any sharp edges here, so it's super comfortable. The weight is okay, but it does feel super bulky. I mean, it does feel really, really thick, but I guess that's the battery and that's the cheapness as well. So the overall first impressions are, I'm surprised, and it feels, for the price, it feels okay. It definitely does feel okay. However, I can already notice that even though some filtering is employed here, we are now used to 300 ppi, and you can definitely see the ghostiness of the 167 ppi, but more on that later because I'm going to spend time reading on this device for in the coming weeks. And does it actually matter, and is it warranted? I mean, is it worth saving those 30-40 bucks when compared to the Paperwhite? So now let's unbox the flipbook cover and see how the whole package looks like. So here is the flipbook cover, or they're calling it the fabric cover for the 10th generation, and it feels nice. So let's just snap this out and then open it. Let's see, what do we get? This is the cover. Yeah, instructions on how to put it. First this side and then slot in. All right. Other than that, it's meaningless. All right, so the flipbook cover feels good, but it's a little on a heavy side. And I'm just wondering, because the device itself is also a little on the heavy side, is it going to be a heavy package? Because this thing is really kind of massive. It does feel very, very heavy. So let's now check out the materials. The outside looks good. Is there any stitching here? No stitching here, and this is not a cheap cover. It's around $30 you would expect that, and you do get that at the competitors, so that's a bit of a disappointment. The feel is nice, it's proper fabric, and we have Kindle logo here at the bottom. When you open up, we get the Amazon logo here, and this is lovely smooth velvety type of a cover here to protect the screen, and you can hear that it's just really massive. I don't understand why it needs to be that massive, but okay. I mean, especially since the screen is indented, it's not like it's protecting it, but all right. Then we have something that I don't like. This whole cover inside is pure rigid plastic. That's super plastic, and there's just a bit of fabric actually glued on the back, but you can still hear the plastic. Now, why I don't like this, I'll show you very shortly. But for now, let's just put the device in and see how it fits. There was no white one available. I would have taken a white one if there was one, but there wasn't. So we just slide it in and then slot into a fit, which is a good fit. So you put it in and there you go. It's nice and it fits. And it does protect the device. However, and it flips around very nicely. Oh, it has a magnet. Yes, I love this. It has a magnet that keeps it stuck on the other side. That's pretty cool. So yeah, it fits very nicely, and I love that it has enough room here to flip back normally. So properly designed cover, which is good, but the plastic thing that I mentioned, why I don't like it, because this is the type of plastic, especially here in these corners, when it does fall, and it will fall, and when it actually, oh, you're updating, all right, fine. And when it does hit a harder edge in here, this plastic will break. Not might, this will break. Maybe not on the first time, but on a second or a third time it will break because it's super rigid and it's super cheap. So some other material would have been a better option, especially because we're dealing with small corners here. So this is almost guaranteed that it will chip off and break off on the first, second or the third fall, which is something that will happen with a small device like this. Other than that, I think it looks and feels good. But not good enough for the price with the flipbook cover. The weight, it's just way too much. And now altogether, this feels like a brick. And it's now no longer super comfortable to actually use in one hand. This is really putting a strain here. So this is a heavy, this is a heavy device or a heavy package altogether. Now, I'm not going to close it since this guy is updating, but overall impressions are okay. I'm wondering, I want to see how it actually performs when you're reading it and when you're dealing with it. But yeah, I'm not impressed with the cover, especially not for the price. It's bulky, it's too heavy, and the cool thing is that it has the magnet, but I really don't like the plastic edges, and the quality is just bleh. So yeah, that's the Kindle. That's the all new Kindle 2019, the cheapest one in Amazon's offer. And next time I'll dig in deep and bring you an in-depth review and a guide to this little guy. Alright, so it seems okay, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna jump to any conclusions. Let's wait and see. And I'm gonna be testing the device now for several weeks, and then yeah, report back to you in the next video to see how that works. Now, I'm saying several weeks simply because the unboxing is filmed several weeks before I actually do the actual review. Even though they are released back to back as far as the weeks go, I make a point to have at least 4 weeks between the unboxing of the device so that I can properly test the device for about a month or so. In the next video, we're going to do an in-depth review and guide of the device itself to see how it performs, what's good about it, what's bad about it, and should you get it. Thanks for watching and thanks for the support, and see you in the next video. Bye!